Okay, welcome to part 1 of issue 55. Now the first stage is fitting the motor, of course. So we start with the leg from the previous issue. Here's the motor assembly, and that's held in place by 4 of the silver screws. We've just got to align that with the wheel. We just have to tweak the wheel just slightly just to get it to line up. And then, just a simple case of putting the 4 screws into each of the holes. It's exactly the same assembly as the right leg. Can be a bit tricky just to get the first one to line up. Don't forget, of course, that we do have the motor test lead, and it's not mentioned in the instructions for this issue, but we do have the capability to test this motor, and I'll probably tag that on the end of this video so you can just see how you can do that. Tighten up these 4 screws in here. The assembly is identical to the other leg, of course, just in reverse. You do want to make sure these screws are good and tight though, because if this motor comes loose you could shear one of the gears, so make sure these screws are nice and tight. Going to try and nail the screwdriver on it. Make sure we've got a good grip on those screws. Right, so that's complete up to step 4. Step 5 is inserting the cable into the top of the motor, like so. A little bit stiff. There we go. Yep. As you can see, I've already got some of the wiring in place. When you're putting the infrared wire in, make sure that the short plug is down the bottom and the larger plug is near the top. I'll just start tidying up this wiring a little bit now. It says in the instructions, make sure you have 135mm of play in this wire. That's taken from that point there where the cable tie is, so 135mm from there, so it can reach round to the sensor. That's quite important. And it needs being a little tighter. The wiring should fit quite snugly. That's the best angle so you can see that. Yeah, the wiring should fit quite snugly around the side of the motor like that. Because obviously you've got the plastic piece that goes over the top there. Right, we can move on to the next page of the assembly instructions. Right, we've got our cable ties in place. And all that's left to do really is to just tidy up all the wiring and snip these cable ties. Just want to make sure I'm happy with this. Because I remember when I was building the first leg, I left this cable a little bit tight and it caused all sorts of problems. But I just want to be absolutely happy with where the wiring's sitting. has got to be able to reach all the way around there. As you can see, there's a rough guide if you haven't got a ruler. Another way of doing it is that wire has to be able basically to do that. Has to be able to go. I'll just move that there so you can see it better. That wire has got to be able to go all the way around there. That's roughly where the infrared detector will be. So I'm happy with that now. You actually get quite a good photograph of that. You get a picture number. If you look at step 10 on page 14, you can actually see the length of wire that's required. Like so. And now we can tighten the cable ties. Get those snipped off. Okay. Right, the next step is to clip these cable ties short. I'll just go and get some snippers.